The Outer Banks of North Carolina. Its beaches were once the well-known stomping grounds of history's most famous pirates. A well-known tourist destination with an ecosystem that's suited for all types of wildlife. Its waters are well suited for fishing, shrimping, crabbing, all sorts of things. But that pressure means it has to be shared by recreational and commercial fishermen. The banks are known by many names: Torpedo Alley from World War II, the Graveyard of the Atlantic, so named for the thousands of ships and thousands of souls that are entombed beneath the surface because of the strong winds and the converging currents that can shift the shallow shoals miles in a single day, making it impossible for even the most experienced captain to know where it's safe. But those strong winds also make it great ground for waterfowl hunting, where every year millions of geese, ducks, swans, anything that migrates travel along the Atlantic Flyway, and it makes for some great hunting in the Pamlico Sound. These things are awesome to hunt, and they're so fast it makes for some really sporty shooting, and that's why we're here.
What's going on, you guys? I'm John Turner. This is Woods to Table. Thank you so much for joining us again today. We're back out at the Outer Banks, Cape Hatteras, back where I had my first duck hunt last year. It was absolutely awesome. Out here with my cousin Zach, his father-in-law, my good friend Jack, and they couldn't be with us again this year. Zach just welcomed his first baby boy into the world, baby Bo, a little over 8 pounds, perfectly healthy. Congratulations, Zach. But this year I'm excited. I've got my dad with me, I've got Afton with me for their first ever experience and exposure to duck hunting, and I'm hopeful that this is going to work out. I'm hopeful that they're going to be excited about this and have a really good experience. The locals and the outfitters are telling us things have been tough. They've had bluebird days, they've had warmer temperatures, and now, as you can see, I've got some overcast skies. The winds are picking up. I actually hope you can hear me right now. And hopefully the weather's turning in our favor. Hope these birds are going to cooperate. So you guys stick with us. Hopefully we've got something good in store.
Hey, hey!
All right, ready to go.
Each day, we're just a short boat ride away from our duck blind. That's actually one of the coolest things about hunting in the Sound. You're surrounded by miles of water in every direction, and you can walk almost as far as you can see. It really takes some getting used to.
We are living high on the hog out here for sure. This is a massive duck blind. This thing's huge. There's probably 12 people could hunt in this thing. Well, we got about everything working against us. It looks like it's going to be a bluebird day. It is flat, calm, no wind. Maybe it's a little overcast, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But it reminds me a lot of our last day last year where nobody fired a shot. So we'll see how it goes. At least we'll be comfortable. I know that. I might stretch out down here and take a nap if nothing goes well.
Make you some pancakes.
Now that I will do. We're going to be cooking up some lunch here before long.
As daybreak became morning, we hunted our hardest with limited opportunities. As any hunter can tell you, it's not always about your effort. Few birds we did see were either the wrong species or far out of range.
Hey, gun.
But these things can happen to you when you hunt. The important thing is you stay positive and find ways to pass the time. Sometimes you got to get creative. Maybe sing a song.
In the duck blind. Having us a good time.
While I wouldn't recommend it if you're still hunting, you could kick back and relax a bit.
Non-stop action can be too much for some people. He just left us to fend for ourselves. I'm his child. I could be hurt out here.
Facts.
But the day wasn't without one notable discovery, something that was left behind by previous hunters. All right, hold up. I know we're not the only people to use this blind, but who left this here? Who brought this here to begin with? I have so many questions. One thing that's for sure, a hot meal never hurts on a slow day either. All things considered, we decided to go ahead and pack it in, head back to town, and see some of the things that Cape Hatteras has to offer. It's always a fine line to know when to stick it out and when to call it so you can return recharged for your hunt the next day.
Man, I'm just sitting out here on this balcony outside this house, watching the sunset. After the dad are asleep. This place is absolutely amazing. It's so peaceful out here. And something about it's just like, it's good for you. It's a good place to rest and reflect. It's good
good for the soul. I don't care who you are. You need to do things like this. You need to do things like this with your family, with your spouse. Take these opportunities to just get outside together, spend some time together, and watching a seagull fight. Spend some time together and answer your phone when it rings.
The second day started much like the first, but then the winds picked up, and we finally got those opportunities we'd been waiting on. But sometimes opportunities don't necessarily translate into success.
Two on the water up here, Dad.
Things happen. Reload your gun. Keep shooting.
How about that?
Ducks and BRANT, baby. This is awesome. I'll tell you what, I shot. There is just something about jogging a mile in the water after your bird as it drifts away in the current, not knowing if the next step is going to be your last on this earth, as you disappear into the abyss and this shelf runs out. It really gets your heart going.
Glad you're back, babe.
I kept thinking this is exactly the direction he told us not to walk.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Oh, 1 o'clock.
Look at all the color in their head. Absolutely beautiful. And that's lunch. All right, I'm excited. So we don't have to have veggie fajitas today. Apparently we found another thing that Afton's good at, in addition to, I mean, just hunting in general. Tracking a blood trail and spotting birds about 5 miles off. She is uncanny. She'll get invited back, you watch. Right here. BRANT. Shoot him. Got him. Got them both. Got them both. That be your BRANT. This is the lesser BRANT species. That is the greater BRANT species. It's bigger. It's the lesser. So, I mentioned we're down here in the Pamlico Sound. It's a great place to duck hunt. We're actually off of Cape Hatteras. You go a little bit further to the west, you run into Ocracoke and the end of the Outer Banks. This is the part of the Outer Banks where it takes a hard bend from going north to south, kind of in this corner where it starts running east and west. And the Pamlico Sound is just a great place to duck hunt. It's in that kind of Atlantic part of the flyway, and if you catch the weather and the wind right, you can have a lot of birds out here. And we've done a lot of shooting already this morning. This is a really unique place. You have to get linked up with an outfitter, so there's not a ton of hunting pressure down here on the Outer Banks side of the Sound. You can hunt, I think, there are some public blinds that you can sign up for on the mainland side of the Sound, but not very many. And it's restricted. They only do a couple of float blind permits per year, not very many, and it's an opportunity for you to try a sink box. We've never done that before, which is basically just a box that puts the hunter at water level. And it's just deadly. It offers you better concealment, so the ducks, they don't flare up as easily if you're out here in a stake blind like we're in, but it's just a lot more comfortable for us to do it this way. So you get the chance to hunt in a sink box, which isn't legal in other parts of the country. Come check it out. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
Midday lull.
Some people pass the midday lull in different ways. It's a good time to watch a hunting show, though.
I have not signed a release, and I will sue.
What are you gonna sue for?
Our millions of
Making
nothings.
fun of me on the internet.
I had zero expectations, and I almost ran out of shells today. So it was really good.
Good
Well,
stuff.
just to show you how optimistic I was, I only brought partial box of shells. After about 30 minutes, I was afraid I was going to run out.
It was an exciting morning.
It was a real
So
surprise.
maybe that was a good thing. If I'd brought 3 boxes, we probably wouldn't have shot 2 shells.
You probably wouldn't have
Hey,
pulled the
if you
trigger.
wouldn't have brought me, you wouldn't have seen any birds.
Yeah, you're right.
It's funny.
Bionic eyes back there.
It's funny how often that happens with those hunts that you feel like are going to be automatic and it doesn't work out. You go in
Yeah.
with high expectations, and sometimes you have zero hopes for the day, and it winds up being like
The
one of the best
best
days.
day. Yeah.
We almost went home.
We did.
I mean, we were within a gnat's rear end of making the decision to go home this morning.
Yeah.
We were in the decision-making process.
They were in the process of packing, is what they were doing.
I'm glad we did it.
Well, we had a good day.
Yeah, fun.
I had a great time.
Good.
Yeah.
Had a blast. But if
Great
we
time.
sit here until dark, we're only at about the halfway point right now. So
Afternoon nap, warm shower. Sounds real
that might
good.
be I'm sitting downwind of you. That might be a first for this trip. Well, it's been fun. Why don't we pack it in and we'll go. Why don't we go make some duck poppers or something before we go to dinner?
Those are great. Yeah, good idea. Good
All right.
idea.
Well, let's do it.
Once we were back at the house, we were really excited to cook something using the meat from our morning hunt. We needed something quick before we went out to dinner that night. We opted for poppers, which you can make with a lot of different types of meat, but we decided we were going to try it with a BRANT. Quickly breasted them out, cleaned the meat, and then Afton was nice enough to help us cook these up. These are really quick and they taste great. Thin slice your jalapeno. Now this part you need to be a little careful with. With a thicker breast, I like to slice it in half so it makes a really thin cut of meat. Then slice it into thin strips. Grab some of your favorite seasoning, go to town. Lay out your strips of bacon and then cover each one with a strip of meat. Cover each one with cream cheese. Roll them up, top each one with a sliced jalapeno. You probably want to stick them with a toothpick to hold them together during cooking. We didn't have any, so work with what you got. Throw them in the oven, 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. We opted for 30.
Ooh. Looky, looky, looky.
Pretty good out there. Where's the paper plates at? Oh, what?
Perfect.
It is outstanding. Whoa, it's spicy. Oh, no.
I tried to take the seeds out of that jalapeno.
Oh. Try it.
Get
It's
ready.
hot.
That needs to cool.
Let it cool off a little bit. Did you eat the whole thing in one gulp?
Yeah, it's a popper. Also, you're gonna need a water.
Yikes. Hang on. Get some of that bacon grease.
I want another one immediately. Oh, it's so good.
It's not overdone?
No. Don't let me eat my second one before you eat your first one.
Oh,
In the few days since this hunt, my family's experienced a great personal loss of my Aunt Maxine. I'm reminded that you're truly never guaranteed tomorrow. That's why all of this is so important. It's important that you do it together, with the people that you love. Get into the outdoors and make memories like these that I know I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. You truly only get one chance at this, and you've got to make it count.